Hello everyone, this is going to be a UV Max commentary track for my Glaive D2 all speedrun in 16 and change minutes. This WOD was created by EANB, or EANB, and it's a classic Doom 1 or, maybe early Doom 2 style set here. And just going to watch the whole thing and give you some commentary on some fun parts, some interesting parts, and hopefully you enjoy it and play the WOD yourself. But yeah, so this first level here is pretty simple. There's not much armor, if any armor at all. So like every shot kind of, like when you do get hit, it kind of hurts. Though there is a Berserk kit halfway through the level. So it's not too bad. Once you get the Berserk kit, though, there's pretty much no more health, so it's pretty easy to die. And you do want to get the Berserk kit as soon as possible so that you can actually use it as a weapon. So, you're tempted to get the Berserk kit very soon, but if you get really shot up here, your health is just gonzo. So, in this run here, I'm taking a little bit safely, but even then, I still kind of got pwned. That's right, I'm bringing pwned back. It's happening. So right here, if I were doing an individual map run, I would probably punch these cacos. But because this is a movie run, I try to take it a little bit more slowly because I don't want to enter the next level with like 4% health, because then I'm just going to be wasting my time here. So I'm using the chain gun, and there's not that many bullets for the chain gun. So I almost ran out, but I decided to just switch away at the last minute. Unfortunately, I shot that barrel for no reason. You don't have to. I like shooting barrels when I don't have to. It's kind of fun. This section here can be pretty devastating sometimes when the chain gunners come in front of the specters. Typically, they'll come in behind the specters and then help you kill the specters, but that's not really what happened here. And that's level 1. I don't think any of the levels for Glaive have names, I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. But they're not on the intermission screen. So this is map 2. This map is pretty fun. There's lots of very interesting kind of encounters with the Berserk Fist. And again, if you're doing an individual map speedrun, you're going to be using the Berserk Fist a lot more than, in a movie run. Because in a movie run, you want to balance safety with speed. Some people, when they run movies, they will just do all the individual map strategies. And if you die, and you try again later. But for me, unless I'm really trying to grind a time down, if I'm trying to do a movie run, there are certain things that I just don't do. And this section here is one of those sections that's just kind of a nightmare to do, because there's specters and there's multiple stages of traps coming out and it's dark as shit. But here it went pretty decently, only having 41% health left. Not great, but of course this is a successful run in the sense that I don't die. So spoiler alert, I'm not dying here, so... Again, using the Berserk Fist when you have low health is really scary, because one miscalculation, or sometimes you just get screwed by the RNG and you're dead, especially, in this case where I had like 20 health or something. So I'm typically going to try to not use the Berserk Fist unless it really is just overwhelmingly useful. Like when you're going up against a Revenant and you have a single barrel shotgun, it's worth the risk to just switch to the Berserk Fist at that point. And plus, honestly, it's cool. So that's a huge factor. When I'm doing movie runs, I often also like to have the third axis between safety and speed, and the third axis of being cool. There will be some times where I do things that are extremely unsafe and also extremely slow because it's cool. So, very important. This level here is pretty rough. There's a lot of windows, a lot of open areas where you can get shot at from various distances. I like the design here of this kind of secret, kind of changing the progression. Although it's not really a secret, but it's kind of a secret. I'm not really sure what's going on. One other thing I like about Glaive as a WOD is it uses a lot of Doom 1 songs. I'm a huge fan of that. Shooting that light thing over there, it opens up this soul sphere. So I usually like to have the chain gun out and then switch to the super shotgun once I activate the secret. This section here, the easier, or like, you know, the more you can skip some of the guys and kill them in this section, the better. But sometimes those Hell Knights can kind of spawn right in front of you when you're trying to escape. But I got lucky there, so an imp kind of blocked the teleport for me. Once again, another aspect of doing movie runs in a distinct fashion from individual map demos is that a lot of the times, you know, like for example, I have a shitload of rockets here, but I'm not going to be mainlining rockets like I would in a map demo because I want to save some rockets for future levels. So when I do movie runs, when it comes to routing ammo, I usually just improvise. I don't really have any strategy. Usually when I do movies, I do it after having done most, if not all, of the IL runs. I almost got killed here. And so when I'm doing a movie, I'm very used to the muscle memory and ammo usage of the map demos. And so I kind of just randomly decide where and when and how I want to use certain weapons. So, you know, it's not very formulaic for me because, you know, for me, I find it hard to believe that I can come up with the perfect way to use ammo in you know, 1 or 2 tries. So I like to try something new each time, and then sometimes I discover, like, okay, yeah, saving rockets for this section is actually really useful that you can't do in a map demo. I just want to replay this. There is a Berserk kid over there, but I failed the jump, and now my health is ruined, and I had to get the Soul Sphere sooner than I would have liked. So gigantic disaster here, for sure. But still, again, the cool points, you know, of missing the Berserk kit, you know, skill down the drain. But it is pretty cool, you know, 9% came back. This level here is pretty fun. It's kind of like a mini slaughter type level. The more you progress into the level, more enemies will spawn into the center area. And you can kind of run back and forth, and they'll kill most of each other, or at least weaken each other. And that's where the rockets come in, because when you have big crowds of enemies that are like weakened from infighting but not dead yet, you can really have some fun situations with splash damage. Though I did switch back to the super shotgun here, even though I did have 29 rockets. But again, I'm in this run, I decided to save them for later, and you'll see why. That there's some important areas where rockets are more useful later. Finally get that pesky Berserk kit. Just, you know, I figured I should say this while I'm in this recording. But I recorded this run in March of 2024. March 5th, 2024 was when I recorded this. So I am recording the commentary in June. So you know, usually I would like to do these right after I finish it. So I have forgotten a couple of details, but just, you know, I want to go back and do commentary tracks for a lot of my older speedruns and newer, but just, you know, generally stuff that I haven't done commentaries for. If you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Anyway, back to the video. This level here is really fun. I got really fucked there. I think it was by the Cacodemon, I'm not sure. But there's lots of like zombies, you know, and again, when you rush past zombies, they will typically just chew each other up, so you don't have to worry about it. But it can also be kind of scary too, because, you know, they do take up space. So having to like actually finagle yourself around some of the hordes can be a challenge. This level is very similar to the previous level where, you know, this central outside area will like kind of fill up with enemies over time, but I'm kind of taking these guys out more methodically than I would in an individual map demo, just because, you know, this is level 5, and Glaive, I think, is like 10 levels, something around there. You know, we'll see very shortly, but either way, I'm like halfway through. Right there, you can kind of get stuck. Let me show this again. You can kind of get stuck. I'm not sure. Was there... It wasn't... I didn't get stuck on a monster. I just got stuck on that little piece of wall. If you can see the little piece of wall that sticks out. But sometimes, like, Cacodemons can fly up on the ledge and also block you, and that can be frustrating too, so... But that did not happen. I just got stuck on the wall this time. I'm trying to like kind of balance where I'm shooting the rockets to maximize splash damage, but it didn't end up being too useful because I got shot and got scared and ran into the hole, so. Again, I do have 52 rockets. You know, once again, I wouldn't consider this run optimal in any capacity. So having 52 rockets here, I mean, you can make an argument I'm being way too safe. And you know what? I would probably support that argument myself. So one of the things that I really want to do with this channel is to motivate people to either speedrun the WODs that I like or to pick up speedrunning in the first place. So a lot of the times when I do movie runs, they're not necessarily the most optimized thing in the world. Some of them I run over and over and over again, like Memento Mori, for example. But oftentimes I do 1 or 2 runs, and, you know, my goal is just to beat the game. So, you know, I always like to kind of leave in improvements for other players, because I do like to motivate other players when I can. This level can be pretty tricky. There is a lot of health at the start, but there's also an arch vial, so you have to be really careful. And I exited the previous level with like no health, so, you know, I did want that health in the middle, and if I would have gotten hit by the arch vial, either I would have died if I didn't collect the health in time, or I would have been straight back to like having 15%, and that's not good for anybody. This level has a really frustrating secret that I'll mention when I get there, but right here. Like, tagging the secret, let me just rewind it and slow it down a little bit. But if you look at the secret sector here, I'm zooming in, the cinematic zoom, you'll see it's like that weird like dip down. And it's kind of hard. I had multiple like individual map runs where I just failed to trigger the secret. As you can see, you know, you have to kind of drop down first and then go back up. So I had a lot of problems with that. So when I did this run, I was just trying to be overly cautious, make sure you grab it, because we know when you try to do it quickly, get the invis, which is the item in the secret, you can sometimes skip the actual secret tag. And you know, in Doom speedrunning, intent doesn't matter. You got to get the tag. There's no argument, but like, oh, I went there, I almost got it. Nope, you gotta get the tag. So, again, 70 rockets, you know, call me a hoarder. This section here, sometimes you can get super lucky with these arch vials, and they'll be like right next to each other, like when you shoot the rockets for maximum splash. I kind of got lucky, but like I also was a little scared in this run, so I kind of didn't take full advantage of that, but I did get some good splash there, which is good. This section here, you can kind of shoot through this waterfall. This waterfall is just a mid-texture, so enemies like these imps can shoot through there. You could just fire a rocket in there and kill them all in one blow, but I did not do that here. As you can see, there is a lot of fluff in this demo that could be improved upon. The final time here is about 16 minutes, and I think it was 15 seconds. So I think you could probably get under 15 minutes if you just used rockets more effectively, so just throwing that out there, but either way, it's a fun WOD. I could probably do this again myself if no one else wants to. This is a dead simple map, so that means you actually have to kill the spiders and the Manx here. There's also the first Cyberdemon encounter coming up, spoiler alert, but it's pretty groovy. This section here, sometimes that shotgunner can kind of surprise you at the corner and you end up like shooting yourself in the face with a rocket, so I was being extra cautious there. And I shot myself in the face with a rocket anyway, because I am very smart. Ideally, I would have triggered this lift first and then gone back to kill the Arachnotron, but I chose not to because I got scared. Right here, also really poor planning. If you get this Arachnotron to like start shooting at the Cyberdemon and maintain line of sight, you can save a lot of time here. But the problem with that is that sometimes when the Cyberdemon doesn't shoot at you, they just continue walking forward. And you can get kind of boxed in where the point where, you know, you're trying to dodge the rockets, but they'll blow up right behind you. So right there, I kind of had to bail a little bit, but I did get really lucky with that Arachnotron. They can really cut down the time that it takes to kill that Cyberdemon quite tremendously. So this level here, I think it's the second to last level if I remember correctly. It's a little bit of an outlier. This level feels and looks a lot different than the previous levels, but it still kind of has that like cohesive tech base, no X there, theme of the rest of the WOD, but it kind of leans more into the Doom 2 style tech bases versus Doom 1 style tech bases, as well as the music as well. The early half of Glaive uses a lot more Doom 1 songs, and then now we're a lot more Doom 2 songs here, so... This section here, you can do it a lot quickly and a lot more quickly and kind of let these guys swim a little bit before killing them. But in this run, I kind of just decided to kill each of the 4 quadrants first before going up here. And that's because one of them had an Archvile, which if you do it this way without killing anyone, that Archvile can be really frustrating. So there is a secret as well in this section here. If you noticed, I shot and you can hear a switch press there, so that does open up a secret later in the map. This section can be kind of frustrating. Every once in a while, I would miss a Spectre. They would just be somewhere else. I don't know how that happened. Oof. Worst Revenant on Earth alert. And sometimes the Spectre can get kind of just lost in the maze, and that kind of sucks. I did not get the double kill there. So there's a BFG and a bunch of Archies, and I kind of had a really horrible setup. So I kind of ran for cover in the BFG. The first shot didn't really do anything, so... Now, here is a really frustrating secret coming up. Now, there's 2 methods of doing the secret. There's the easy, probably the intended way, and then there's the really stupid fucking way I did it in the individual map record for this. And I forget which way I do it here. I think I do it the easy way here. Yeah. You can run directly from the switch to the Megasphere, but it requires a perfect lineup SR50. And I'm a huge hater of tricks unless they're easy. And that trick was not easy enough, so my hater status is very much so in play here. Then we have a bunch of Cacos, some Revenants, and then that's the end of this level. And I believe coming up next is the final map here. Somehow that last fucking Caco demon survived. I don't even know what the fuck happened there. And then they hide behind the wall. A classic gamer moment. So here's the last level. This level is kind of just a crazy big metal arena. The strategy here, you can do like a quick strategy, a slow strategy, a safe strategy, you know, all those kinds of things. This one I tried to do a little bit of like a merger between safety and speed. You know, I could have gone a lot slower, but I also could have gone a lot faster as well. But, you know, I didn't want to die here. And again, usually when it comes to movies, my goal is just to, I like to do incremental improvements over time. Really, I mean, fundamentally, it just stems from I like playing the game. And so movies are usually just a much lower stress environment compared to individual map runs. Because, you know, you're really motivated to optimize a run when it's like 2 minutes or 1 minute or even 5 minutes. But when it's like 20 minutes or something, you know, there's a lot more of an argument to just take it easy. And this section here can go really wrong really quickly. But, you know, pretty decent here. Though it could have gone a little bit worse. Or a little bit better as well. I mean, both of those are options. But really, once you get to this part, it's pretty much just smooth sailing. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what that was. That was something else, let me tell you. There's one more guy over there I'm trying to kill. That's one of the things about this kind of level is you want to shoot the guys while you're going to collect the keys, so that way you're doing multiple things at once. And there you go. That's Glaive, the complete WOD in 16 minutes and 15 seconds. Once again, I'm trying to do more commentaries for some of my full WOD speedruns. UV Max is my main category, but you know, sometimes I do other categories too. So if you have any suggestions for any movies that you've seen me perform in the last couple of years or the last 10 years, regardless of time, you know, whatever. Just note that the older the run is from the present, the more likely I am to forget some details. So, but anyway, thank you for watching this, and coming up soon will be Glaive 2.